DIO versus Alucard. Well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't be surprised I would eventually see this death battle coming. I mean, they did do it for DBX, so I might have. I would have bound to see this happen eventually. Just, it's perfect that they decided to do it for the month of October for the Halloween episode, which is nice. Alucard, one of the bloodiest characters in all of anime, versus the memeing wannabe vampire of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, that's as I'd like to call it anyway. But yeah, I was like, you know what? This might be an interesting one to watch, and let me just record my reaction to it and see how it goes. Because I hadn't, the last one I did was Link versus Cloud, and I hadn't done that in a really long time. So, well, the reason being is because I don't react, to death battles as much as I used to anymore, because as I stated before in the past, I don't trust death battles information anymore with the research and stuff, and they've kind of contradicted themselves before, so I was like, nah, let me not. It's like, anymore. I mean, like, this makes no sense to me, so I'm just like, let me just not do it anymore. Also, there's also the fact of, more people reacting to it, and, I don't get as much views for it anymore. And as I always say before, and some people can agree with me or not, but, views do matter for your content. So it's like, yeah, it's like I don't get as much views as I used to anymore, which is sad, because back then, when I first started this, like, 6 years ago, I'd get, like, 2,000 to 1,000 views for them, and now I can't barely get 100 on them, so that's why I was like, let me just stop and just find some other stuff to react to when I get the chance from time to time. So I was like, just that's how it goes. But I was like, let me watch this one and see how this goes. This one's interesting to watch. Thought it'd be good to record my reaction for it. So yeah, and that's where it's going on from here. So, but in any case, I'm gonna see what they're gonna have to say. It is 24 minutes, so yeah, let's get to it.
DIO Brando, everlasting adversary of the Joestar bloodline.
Alucard, undying enforcer of the Helsing organization.
Vampires, the spawn of nightmares formed from the blackest pits of man's demented imagination.
Anime, basically the same thing. What do you get when you combine them? Two of the meanest monsters out there.
Oh yeah.
He's whiz and I'm boosted.
I haven't watched too much JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Didn't know that, but damn. I've seen almost every episode of Hellsing Ultimate. But there's no doubt in my mind, Takahata 101 is going to be voicing Alucard in this fight.
Of their unholy
no doubt in my
literally
mind.
Destroyed the universe.
You might think they'd have to be no less than the devil himself, but it was him.
DIO. I love how just
Boomstick
just did the meme there.
DIO was humiliated by his poverty and abused by his alcoholic
He's
father.
123 years old.
Bitter resentment and small dick energy would lead to a lifelong desire for ultimate power and immortality to reach a place over heaven.
And he'd get his chance to act when he was adopted into the wealthy Joestar family.
Yep.
DIO planned to kill his new father, George Joestar, and take his fortune for himself. Only one thing stood in his way.
Jonathan Joestar.
Jonathan Joestar, a.k.a.
JoJo.
DIO tried to go all alpha wolf on JoJo by engaging in such classic sibling pranks as beating him up, molesting his girlfriend, and setting his dog on fire.
That one was fucked up, though.
You give that creepy dog murderer what for, JoJo?
Right.
After years of emotional manipulation,
you don't like
DIO's
dog killers
twisted
here.
assassination plot was foiled by his righteous stepbrother.
With help from the interfering Speedwagon. All seemed lost until DIO pulled out his Plan B, an ancient stone mask that turned him into a vampire. That's just bizarre.
Okay, so he's not technically a vampire like, say, Dracula. Instead of turning you into an unholy demon, the stone mask eliminates your body's natural limitations.
Making him way stronger, faster, and tougher than any human. He can hear a heartbeat through the ground, fly through the air, and hypnotize you with just a glance.
It gets
Didn't know about that part.
DIO can create mind
like I said,
control.
well, I didn't watch Stardust Crusaders all that much,
vaporize the moisture in his body to freeze anything he touches, and fire beams of pressurized fluids that can split the sky.
Damn.
Pressurized fluids.
Didn't watch part 1 yet, so.
Oh, sometimes it's too easy, Wiz. Even more insane is DIO's healing factor. He's been burnt alive, impaled through the head, bisected, decapitated, lost limbs, filled with bullets, and had a huge hole punched in his chest not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Another similar vampire, Straight, survived being blown to pieces and just pulled himself back together.
All Dio needs is some blood to speed up the process, so he is basically a vampire.
Yeah.
Though I guess the fangs are just for decoration because he sucks blood through his fingers.
He's a unique sort of vampire. I mean, this is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, as you could say.
And feed a baby to its own mother.
Yeah, that one was really fucked up.
We've had a lot of real pieces of shit on this show, Wiz.
Oh yeah, Dio like the worst of the worst, I'd say.
His plans were foiled again by his old frenemy JoJo, who beat Dio's ass with a martial art that uses the power of the sun, Hamon.
Because should Dio's vampire body be subjected to sunlight, he will instantly
like I said, I haven't really watched JoJo like that, so I don't know what
did Dio
Hamon
do?
is.
Well, he cut off his own head, killed Jonathan on his wedding night, and attached his head to JoJo's body.
Damn!
Wow. Cake taken, for sure.
Forget how that worked.
After a brief century in a coffin at the bottom of the ocean, Dio resurfaced in Egypt and tried once again to take over the world. His ultimate goal was to create a world where everyone knew their own fate and could make peace with the inevitable tragedies life had in store. In Dio's mind, heaven.
And he'd make it happen no matter how many breads he'd have to
I mean,
after being struck by a mystical
like I said,
arrow,
didn't watch that much, so never understood his motivations.
The embodiment of a user's life force. Since they're made of psychic energy, stands can only be seen by stand users, and can only be hurt by other stands. Quite the obstacle for any opponent lacking similar abilities.
Ow! Hey, look, Wiz, I got a stand! I call it 99 bottles! Oh, shit! Don't worry, Wiz. I'll change you back with your
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
look,
surprising.
a giant beer!
Don't drink it! He's drinking it. Is he about to spit out Wiz?
As befits a god among men, Dio received one of the most powerful stands in history. The world, with its ability to
one of the funniest memes from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, honestly.
Well, not only does his time stop get longer,
I mean, I don't know who else memes,
he can
but
spam it as
three of
much
my
as he
friends
likes.
meme it.
He's a massive troll.
The world is absurdly strong and fast, able to match the stand Star Platinum, which belongs to Jonathan's great-great-grandson, Jotaro Kujo. He technically inherited it from Dio through Jonathan's body and bloodline, making Star Platinum and the world the same stand.
And both are two of the strongest stands out there, just as strong as Stone Free, which can punch meteors that were pulled to Earth in seconds.
By measuring the distance the meteors are from Earth, we can estimate they were moving at over 11 million meters per second. Factoring in their mass, they'd each have a kinetic energy of 441 kilotons of TNT.
Not that crazy when you can throw punches that are faster than light. No, really, Star Platinum kept up with his stand, Silver Chariot, which could
Star Platinum is really fast.
Looking at the interval Silver Chariot's sword swung relative to the light beam, it must have moved over 1,500 times the speed of light. And Dio himself has matched Star Platinum on his own, and taken its punches head on.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to Dio's secret weapon, the greatest weapon in anime history.
I love that scene. Dude, we're actually gonna use that. I feel like they knew this would become a meme when it happened.
Dio's still a careful tactician,
I love that so much.
Exploiting an opponent's weaknesses.
Too bad he
I don't
wasn't
use
prepared
as much
for
as he knows I
Jotaro
want,
to learn how to
though,
stop
but
time too and murder the shit out of him. That's some hardcore karma right there. But it only makes sense that a dog murderer would die like a bitch.
But much like the machinations of great and terrible men, Dio's will was immortal. In time, his greatest follower succeeded in extinguishing the Joestar bloodline and literally remaking the universe in Dio's image, creating that heaven he always dreamed of.
I guess
is this all in part 6?
A rock star, a movie star, and
I don't know.
Right, God.
I never read the manga, but damn, that's fucked.
You thought your first kiss would be JoJo, but it was I,
Dio. I love it. Alright, on to Alucard.
Some people whose lives have no fears, no dreads. For though the world seems full of good men, there are monsters in it.
But don't worry, jolly old England has it covered with the Helsing organization.
Founded by famous vampire hunter Abraham Van Helsing and led by his descendant Integra, this secret government institution has saved the world time and again with their secret weapon.
And what better weapon to hunt vampires than with one of their very own, the no-life king, the Bird of Hermes, Alucard.
The Crimson Fucker
was shrouded in mystery. But under Helsing's employ, he was molded into an elite hunter, made even more vicious by his intense hatred of his fellow vampire kind.
A hatred that he expresses with two of the gnarliest handguns you'll ever pray to your infinite god to never see in person.
Alucard's primary sidearm is the Castle, a behemoth of a handgun able to kill most undead in one shot with holy bullets that can nullify a vampire's healing factor.
The Jackal is the handgun she told you not to worry about. 16 inches long and weighing 35 pounds. Its armor-piercing, hollow-point bullets, jacketed in blessed Macedonian silver, were built to annihilate the toughest monsters.
And after decades of clandestine experimentation, Helsing enhanced Alucard's vampiric abilities far beyond the norm.
Alucard can walk through walls, cast illusions, levitate, and move objects with his mind. Objects that stay an ocean of over 3 million people's blood?
Yeah.
Worth half a ton of TNT.
His psychic prowess allows him to read minds, communicate telepathically, hypnotize with a glance, and see through hallucinations with his third eye.
He's not a Triclops. It's more of a sixth sense that lets him hit bullseyes from a kilometer away and even predict your movements.
Pretty badass.
Like the Sharon gun.
Of course, he wouldn't be a real vampire if he couldn't drink blood. The catch is, when he drinks enough blood to kill you, he literally absorbs your soul. That right there is the source of his most fearsome ability.
Yeah, that makes him really terrifying. Oh no, you can't. So I'm wondering how this is going to go out for this fight.
He'll just regenerate his body lickety-split. Like, we've seen some overpowered healing factors on this show before, but Alucard's is just bullshit.
Yeah,
While he
really
does possess
bullshit.
blood and organs like a regular human, Alucard's body is, in reality, composed of an ethereal, shadow-like substance that he can morph any way he wants. This allows him to shapeshift and instantly heal any wound. And each soul Alucard has consumed acts as an extra life that he can spend whenever he's fatally injured. Kind of like a video game.
And after 500 years of unlife, Alucard has consumed literally millions of souls.
Millions.
Yay, more beer!
Just like me.
Helsing needed a beast as fearsome as Alucard to take on Millennium, aka Nazi vampires. That's like evil squared.
Like when Millennium SS Lieutenant Rip Van Winkle commandeered a British aircraft carrier as part of an invasion of London.
Alucard didn't like that very much, so he jackknife it with an SR-71 Blackbird at Mach 3.
A fully loaded Blackbird weighs 170,000 pounds, meaning it's struck with a kinetic energy of 11 tons of TNT. That's as powerful as the U.S. Massive Ordnance Air Blast.
AKA the mother of all bombs, and Al was in the middle of that and strolled out like it was nothing.
Just as impressive as intercepting Rip's magic bullets. Comparing the distance one bullet moved to the jet in the same time frame as the jet's own movement, each bullet would have to be moving at 1,500 times the speed of sound.
And Alucard caught one with his frickin' teeth. And
that was
after
badass.
giving Rip's name a new meaning, he drove that aircraft carrier back to shore with his mind.
That was great. I remember that moment in the Bridge series. That was my favorite moment from the Bridge series. My favorite moment, especially when they were playing Ready to Die.
6 restriction levels were placed on him that he can release against dangerous opponents.
Levels 6 through 2 are for wrecking your ordinary ghouls. Level 1 is for your heavy-duty vampires, and for getting this gnarly demon doggo made from his shadow essence, Baskerville.
But there exists an even greater state of power
Level
Alucard
0
can release when he wants to end the world. Level 0.
Where he becomes Dracula.
Level 0 releases every single soul Alucard has consumed as a sea of blood-soaked zombies. All 3 million of them.
Sure, with his soul gone, he can't
all 3
heal
million,
easily,
but also turns into Dracula.
He'll
Let's
die
not forget that.
permanently. But the sheer numbers and power of this army from hell makes him virtually impossible to approach in the first place.
He's unstoppable! This guy's got to be like the king of all vampires!
Indeed, he is. Helsing purposely kept Alucard's true identity a secret, all in the codename. Alucard backwards
is
Dracula?
Dracula.
Yeah, duh, Wiz.
Let's not forget about that.
Over 500 years ago, the Wallachian
I thought they would not
warlord
mention
Vlad
that.
Dracula battled the Ottoman Turks for control over Eastern Europe and impaled thousands of people in the process. Hence his historical name, Vlad the Impaler.
But things
Oh.
didn't end up too good for him.
Forget-
Before his
I always can forget the
execution,
real
he took
life
a big old
story
sip
of
some
the
blood
real life
from the
Dracula.
battlefield, sacrificing his humanity in order to become an immortal creature of the night.
And that is when the legend was born. But it wasn't anything Dracula was proud of. He grew
No,
to despise
he
his
wasn't.
monstrous nature and saw it as cowardice. The main reason he hated other vampires so much was that he really hated himself.
Oh, that's deep, Wiz. Maybe that's why he always lets his enemies rip into him like a piñata of self-loathing. His crazy OP healing factor will fix
Turn
everything
from him
anyway.
after 30
Millennium
years.
would
Yep.
exploit this arrogance by tricking Alucard into absorbing the soul and abilities of Schrödinger, a German cat boy who controls his own quantum state. This grants him pseudo-omnipresence and immortality. He can exist everywhere and nowhere, and cannot die so long as he can recognize his own existence.
But because Al had 3 million souls kicking around inside him, Schrödy couldn't recognize himself anymore, forcing him, and thus Alucard, to fade out of existence.
So Alucard spent 30 years killing the other 3 million souls inside of him until he could return to reality and his master. He undid his own unexistence.
No matter how
Wow.
spoopy the threat, Alucard will show no mercy. He's just waiting for the day he meets a noble human warrior strong enough to end his unlife for good.
Oh yeah.
Should he face a fellow monster, a fool who rejected their humanity like himself, he'll let loose the dogs of war, and all hell will sing.
I'm a dog. Then you're dog food.
Ooh, that was brutal.
All right,
right.
the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all
Ooh.
possibilities.
But first, if you want
This
the same
one-
kind of confidence that lets you
I
try
don't know
to
how I'm
take
gonna
over the
call this
world with a
one.
zombie army, first off, interesting. Secondly, try
Yeah.
out Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. Alright, they're gonna
This
go to the
episode.
sponsor real quick. Alright, so... I think this one's gonna be a bit tough to call, I think. I kinda want Alucard to win, but there is a chance he might not. Because they went over was DIO. There's also a good chance he could win too, but man, both of them seem really hard to kill. I mean, Alucard's practically unkillable if you find a way around it, like they sort of did in Hellsing Ultimate. But even then, they didn't really kill him. He just went away for like 3 decades. But compared to DIO, they eventually managed to kill him. But it was not easy, and somehow his destiny was still apparently fulfilled in the manga, which I had no clue about until they just mentioned it. But they might be wrong. Sometimes they get their stuff wrong, but I don't know. Anyone watching, feel free to at least let me know. Like I said, toughy, but might need. I want to go with Alucard to win. I might be wrong, but Alright, let's see what we got. Ooh, classic jazz. Alucard strolling through the dark night. And that's probably DIO, isn't it? Oh shit! Shooting at the car already? Damn. Ooh.
You interrupted my dinner.
Funny, I was just thinking about Big Mom.
Called it! It's Takahata one-on-one voicing Alucard.
Take a bite.
Ooh. Alright. Starting off with the guns already? Alright. Ooh, the stands grabbed the bullet. And he just snapped it right back at him. Alucard's still shooting. Ooh, and he's already ripped in half. Ooh. What's this going to? Ooh. Savoir bow. Muda, strong your knives. Ooh. Time stop again.
So very weak, dog. You thought you'd triumph, but it was I. Dio?
DIO, what? Okay, that was funny. I love how they're doing the meme, but they had to just pause it. Oh. Oof. Of course they had to do that one. Why wouldn't they? It's a classic thing for DIO to do.
Hearing you scream.
Oh, what the hell? Just... what? Oh, man. Oof.
What the hell are you?
A real
Dracula.
vampire.
Ooh. Here comes the stands. Zawaldo, do something. I was gonna say, Dio has something up his sleeve, wouldn't he? Oh! I forget how super strong he is. So is Alucard! Here come his zombies, but why does he have those shadowy arms, though, is my question.
You want blood, you disgusting monster? Choke on your own.
Uh-oh.
I want to rule the world!
Oh! Oh, shit. I had a feeling you had to play a factor into that.
Face me, Vampire King! Bow to your new god!
The bird of Hermes is my name, eating my wings to make me tame.
What the fuck?
Useless.
Oh. Damn. Ooh. Yeah, that's it. Damn. I had a feeling Zawaldo would probably play a role in
Alucard pulled out
close
all
to
the
time
stop
stop.
like the bloody drink.
Damn,
It
that
was in
sucks.
vain. Finger guns.
He may have been the king of the vampires in Helsing, but Dio had everything he needed to clip the bird of Hermes' wings.
Alucard's
Did he?
strategy in most fights is to heal from an opponent's attacks until they get tired, then take advantage of an opening. But he couldn't do that here because Dio didn't really have any openings, and Alucard wasn't nearly
he
as strong
would,
or
though,
as
that's the
fast to
thing.
compensate.
Alucard could
I
survive
thought he
crashing that
would,
jet
though.
and move 1,500 times faster than sound. But scaling from Stone Free and Silver Chariot, the
Yeah,
world could punch
I had a
relativistic
feeling that they
meteors
would
and move
do that
1,500 times
comparison.
faster than light. That would make Dio nearly 40,000 times stronger and 800,000 times faster than Alucard.
Hell, Alucard couldn't even see or hurt the world in the first place because he's not a stand user. And since stone mask vampires from JoJo aren't weak to holy weapons like Helsing vampires are, Al's guns were more or less dead weight.
Plus, Alucard just had no way to get past the time stop.
I'm
Even
not
if
sure
he
about
did
that,
somehow,
though.
Dio could just freeze him on contact.
And considering Dio has taken punches from Star Platinum, Al would have had trouble doing damage even if he got the chance.
Dio's far greater speed and power meant that, given enough time, he could realistically kill Alucard 3 million times in quick succession. Without
what?
any viable options for attack or openings to exploit, Alucard's soul-based regeneration meant he would run out of lives eventually, and level 0 only sped up that process.
Sure, that army's nothing to scoff at,
I'm not
but
sure
consider
about
the time
that.
Dio's eye beams split those huge-ass clouds.
Estimating the size of the clouds
That's
and the
not-
speed at which they
I don't
move,
think that was entirely
Dio's beams
reason, though,
must have
but
output an energy
could
of
be
over
wrong.
10
Been a while since I
megatons
watched
of
Hellsing
TNT,
Ultimate.
enough to wipe out Alucard's army in one go, leaving him vulnerable. Just like when this other vampire, Walter, could have killed him by piercing his heart. Alucard's even admitted it himself.
Hell, Alucard's army is filled with blood. You know, that thing that Dio uses to heal? But Wiz, what about Schrodinger? With his powers, Al can't die unless he chooses to.
While Schrodinger's quantum immortality makes him impossible to kill normally, it is literally part of the story that Alucard cannot have Schrodinger's abilities and his greater array of powers at the same time, or else he'll no longer exist. We can't give him both Schrodinger and his standard powers without breaking the lore and rules of the character.
Even if we did,
But you
it
have
doesn't
done that
really matter.
before.
It doesn't help him kill Dio at
That's
all,
the
so
thing.
at best it'd be
Again,
a stalemate.
which is why I don't
Until Dio
watch him as much
hypnotizes
as I used to
Alucard,
anymore.
asks him
So,
about his
I feel
powers,
like they kinda
and forces
contradict
him to
themselves
eject
there,
Schrody like the rest of his
unfortunately.
souls.
Shocking though it may be, Dio's overwhelming offense, impenetrable defense, and uniquely devastating abilities wore Alucard down until the No-Life King had no lives left.
Alucard got DIO'd.
Boomstick, you tell the worst puns in the world.
That's
Nah,
right, and
I
you're
wouldn't-
just gonna have
I
to
wouldn't say
deal
he
with
does.
this. And hey, wait a minute, that was a
No.
pun. That's my territory. We talked about this.
The winner is Dio. Thank you guys so
I
much
at
for
least
watching
wish
the show.
you would
We really
finished
hope you
it.
enjoyed that episode of Death Battle. If you're
That was
looking
funny,
for
though.
something else to
That was
watch
funny.
right now, just click the box on the screen and check out Red vs. Blue Family Shatters, where the Red vs.
Alright.
Blue Zero crew
I'm
gets up
curious
to all
who
sorts of
we would
wacky
have
antics.
next. I might not
It's really
watch
fun.
it.
A lot of people
Well,
who worked on Death Battle also
not
worked on
live
this show.
as a
So give
reaction.
it a
I'll
watch.
probably watch
Thanks.
it on my own time. Next time, Akuma. Oh, the legend has returned. Versus Kong. Oh, they get so 2 undefeated monsters. Shocking. I don't know if I'll watch that one. Maybe, maybe not. That was interesting. I really liked the Akuma versus Shang Tsung and Bison versus Shao Kahn, but this fight might be interesting just for me to watch. I don't know. I'll see. But in any case, my overall thoughts on the fight. Thought it was a cool fight, but I can't say I'm not too surprised Dio didn't win. It's a shame. I wanted Alucard to win, but you know, Dio won. I was like, damn. I had a feeling just his time stop would play a significant role in him winning the entire time. I was like, yeah. I thought, and I would at least think Alucard would have some sort of way around that. Maybe. I don't know. He probably... Nah, he didn't. What am I saying? No, he didn't. But everything else seemed like... They mentioned all these other feats both of them could do. But they didn't use them that much, particularly in this fight from what I've noticed. Which I thought was strange. But... I don't... Yeah, but... I saw the contradiction where it was, we can't give this character such and such as, you know, in a certain time span. I was like... But you have done it before. I remember you've done it before with some characters in their fights. I don't... Why are you saying that? I can't remember all of them, but just like I remember a few where they've done that before. I'm just like, bro, that makes no sense. So, anyways, but my overall fight was cool. I loved how Takahata was, you know, it was Alucard because you had to have him as Alucard, of course. But and then you know the Dio memes in the entire fight. I was like, yes, you need to have the Dio memes in that fight just to make, you know, the Dio memes. Dio's legendary for his memes. It was Dio? I love that part. That part was when it's like, oh, they were switching it up on us just not to make it too cliche for his phrase. I was like, ooh. Yeah. But, spoiler alert, you know, I kind of saw this one coming just from what they were saying a little bit. But, like I said, I always take everything they say with some research from a grain of salt because they have been proven to be false in the past by other people. But I also saw animation rewind version of it. You know, I forget what the one is called, but hold up. They also did Alucard versus Dio, but I forget what it was called, what channel it's on for them. Rewind Rumble. That's what it's on. Rewind Rumble. They did that one. It was a little bit more shorter, of course, but I thought their explanation was a little bit more accurate. Not as, you know, sophisticated as how Death Battle does it, but, you know, more to the point where, oh yeah, this is why. Okay. Yeah. But it was pretty short. I just found it funny in that one, though. Basically, the way Dio won, he literally did the roll onto Alucard, and that was it. Dio won. I was like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure that might come with the same result. But, will Death Battle say otherwise? I don't know. I was like, let's see. I want Alucard to win. I was like, no, never mind. That's alright. Shame. I can't say it's too surprised because, oh man, from what I see, Dio is a little bit OP. I'm still surprised Juggernaut beat him, though, when I think about it. But then, you know, like I said, I really need to catch up with more of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's like one of those ridiculous ones, you know, because Elizabeth's name Bizarre Adventure, so I do like some of the story it tells in there, so... Yeah, and of course, Joseph and Jotaro are one of my favorite characters in that series, so... And, whew, man. Fun one to watch for Halloween. Definitely fun watch to watch. The Wannabe Vampire versus the Vampire King, and the Wannabe Vampire won. Thanks to his stand and time-stopping abilities was the power of memes and Zorado. That was fun. That was definitely fun indeed. But for anyone watching, let me know what you guys think about this fight. I thought it was a cool fight. Decently length for the time span it was. Didn't exactly like some of the info they gave out, especially with how they contradicted a bit of themselves at the end. But can't say I'm too surprised it is Death Battle, so they have done that before. And I not many people might not like the hot take I say. I was like, yeah. But again, it's one of the reasons I don't really watch them as much anymore. But I thought it'd be a cool one to watch and see what happens. So, and I'm glad I did. So, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below for those who are watching. And those who are watching, thank you for watching. Please like this if you like this reaction. And tune in for more stuff in the future, because I will be doing more reactions and other stuff. Because I'm a multi-content channel, but I do like doing reactions as well. It's like one of the main things, of course, to do on the channel. But in any case, for those who are watching, thank you for watching. And until next time, I'm out.